This program is presented to you in color.
Is Andrew Garfield Spider-Man working for Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? And if he is, why? Well, it actually ties directly back to a single haunting line said by Andrew in No Way Home. Hey everyone, Braden here, and welcome back to the Doomsday Clock series, the place where we break down and build theories for the next Avengers film right up to its release. So the question at hand is, what actually happened to Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker after he went back to his Earth at the end of No Way Home? Did his life magically get easier, or did that taste of multiversal closure actually leave him completely vulnerable? Vulnerable enough to become a worthy candidate for the family of Doom.
Decisions will have to be made. You're this time either on the side of the good guys, or perhaps you may consider the alternative of perhaps joining the family of Doom.
I know a lot of you might disagree with this right out of the gate, but today I'm going to prove to you why this dark twist would not only work, but why it is the most emotionally logical path for Andrew's character going forward. In this video, we're going to trace Peter's journey from the very beginning to uncover the dark reality of his headspace right now. I'll make the case for why Andrew is the absolute perfect fit for Team Doom, and why a Spider-Man of all heroes would choose to turn his back on the Avengers. And finally, we'll break down the haunting, hidden parallels between Victor Von Doom and Peter Parker, and explain why that dynamic changes everything for Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, let's get into it. While most fans think Peter Parker is too pure to ever work for someone like Doctor Doom, the truth is Marvel has already shown us the exact moment he lost his moral compass. If there was one thing that Andrew's movies did exceptionally well, it was the chemistry of Andrew and Emma Stone. I mean, they really found a way to make that dynamic super powerful. It was the best part of the movies, and it's why so many of us still hold those movies so dear to our hearts, because of that relationship and that chemistry that they had. So going into Amazing Spider-Man 2, when they killed Gwen in such a brutal, just shocking way. Not shocking if you know the comics, but you know what I mean. It was hard to process. It still gets me emotional when I watch it. You know, it's powerful. It's the way he performs that reaction, how he carries himself the rest of that film. The tragedy of Peter Parker is something you shouldn't underestimate. We just saw Thomas Peter deal with it as well. Not in the same way, where he lost the love of his life. He kind of did, but not her falling down a tower and dying. Gwen's death didn't just make Peter Parker sad, it fundamentally broke his psyche. Like, he was already drowning in the mystery of his parents' abandonment, and then Captain Stacy's death and the promise that he made to him. Gwen was his anchor, and breaking that promise to her dad and losing her is something that is really heavy, and Peter has to go through it. So then we go to No Way Home, which is 7 years after Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we get that dialogue from him. I got bitter. I stopped pulling my punches. I don't know what that means exactly. That's the mystery of it. Like, did he kill somebody? Did he? It's hard to say, because he is so funny and so heartwarming and so just lovable in No Way Home. So maybe he's just so overcome with joy being with these people and kind of forgets his life back on his Earth. Then when he gets back, it's back to the old grind of being miserable, you know? And I want to really dive into that and what that means. But stopping pulling punches for a hero with Spider-Man's strength means causing severe bodily harm or death easily. Peter is known for pulling his punches in the comics, and it's like a thing that we acknowledge as readers. And the amount of willpower and strength it would take to pull back punches, it just is another testament to his character. But by the time Peter 3 returns to his own universe, he's a desperate, exhausted hero who may just be the perfect target for Doctor Doom to manipulate. Now, most of us could safely assume that saving Tom Holland's MJ cured Peter 3's trauma, but I want to propose the idea that returning to his own universe actually pushed him toward a terrifying temptation. Because I don't think that saving her cured anything. It was a temporary band-aid fix on a larger problem that this character has to deal with. He probably feels so lonely on his Earth and so broken. So when he comes to this new Earth and he sees people who look like him, or people who are him, and they work together to solve a problem, he feels like he's on a team, a group of people that he can be himself around. Probably very healing, but there is a case for that just being something temporary. And coming back to his Earth, things kind of settle back down to where they were. And I'd be curious to know what happened between him and Aunt May. Like, are they still very close? Did he kind of shut her out? I mean, a Spider-Man who stopped pulling his punches and doesn't have the symbiote suit, that's dark. That's a very dark version of the character. And I can't imagine his relationship with May being very easy when he's going through that. So maybe he can't look her in the eye because he feels like a failure, leading him to pull away from the only family he has left, plunging deeper into vigilanteism. You're basically like a heightened version of what Tom went through in Brand New Day. And we know that in the third film, there was this idea of them resurrecting Gwen and resurrecting people that Peter cared about. There's something there. There's something that maybe they took from that movie and they kind of maybe could have reworked into Secret Wars Doomsday. Because what I really want to get at is to say that Peter would do anything to bring back Gwen. And I truly believe that. This is exactly why and how Dr. Doom recruits him. By offering him a way to bring Gwen Stacy back from the dead. Because Dr. Doom is a master manipulator who will weaponize the one thing Peter is entirely powerless against, which is guilt. So, the MCU rumors suggest that Dr. Doom's origin is fueled by a profound personal tragedy, losing his wife and his child to the potential actions of Steve Rogers, or maybe he sacrifices them, and that's a lie that he's telling the heroes. Either way, he lost people important to him, and that's going to fuel him going into this movie. He's going to have motivation, he's going to have a lot to say, and he's out for blood. He's not trying to build an army of mindless monsters. I think he's trying to recruit broken, dark, grief-stricken characters like Strange and Wanda and Peter 3. And these characters are easy to manipulate. They're easy to control. They're usually lost because they lost something. And creating Battleworld, well, that gives Doom the opportunity to give them that thing or promise it. So I think there's something there where Doom would offer him Gwen and, you work for me and I'll bring Gwen back kind of thing. And I think that's an offer he can't really refuse if you're Andrew's Peter and you're that broken. I mean, these characters, they actually understand each other in a way because they both lost something. They both would do anything to bring them back, and they're going to. Doom understands the power and the pain of losing everything. So when Doom is like on his mission and his road to getting Battleworld and creating it, he could approach Peter and tell him, help me maintain order in my new world and I'll rewrite history so Gwen Stacy never died. So the thing to understand as well is Peter isn't turning evil for power or money. He is siding against the heroes because his grief has been weaponized. So by accepting Doom's offer, Peter isn't trying to destroy the multiverse. He's just trying to bring back Gwen, which means the mainstream Avengers are fighting a broken Spider-Man who will kill to protect his second chance. A Spider-Man who has stopped pulling his punches and got bitter. That's a recipe for a very interesting dynamic between the Spider-Boys, because the hidden alliance between Andrew and Doom turns what could have been a Spider-Boys reunion into kind of an emotionally devastating battle. These three Spider-Men are very close. It's a brotherhood. When you take one of them and make them an antagonist to the other two, I think there's something there where we can see an evil Spider-Man, a manipulated Spider-Man, going against his brothers. We could see Andrew with a new suit, maybe a symbiote suit. I mean, what better way to really manipulate Andrew and really keep him in the dark than to give him that, which I'm sure Doom knows all about, honestly. He's a traveler of the multiverse. He collects things, you know, I guarantee it. He's come across it and probably has it in his possession. And I think Toby is like the older brother. You know, he knows the pain, but he chose light. And Tom is the Peter who has to see the terrifying path of what happens when you let bitterness win. So, you know, what he's dealing with MJ, not remembering him, and not loving him, a whole new thing. There's a reality where he could get bitter about that, and seeing what that bitterness can do to someone is maybe something that kind of reinforces Tom as the definitive Spider-Man going forward. It's a desperate rescue mission to save Andrew's soul. Now, ultimately, I think this turns Andrew Spider-Man into an emotional anchor for the film, and it proves that the hardest villain for Tom and Toby to defeat may just be a brother they desperately want to save. But let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, join our Discord community, and if you dug this one, be sure to check out our other Doomsday Clock videos, because they really are a lot of fun. It brings us together as a community. This whole channel is about community, bringing us together as we head into Doomsday, and you know, all the exciting stuff that's going to come out in the next 2+ years. Links are all down below. I'm Brandon Vowels. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you in the next one.